I'll be talking about a few points related to the decline of biodiversity in the last 1 to 2 centuries. Humans are transforming Earth's nature so intensely that as many as 1 million plant and animal species are now at risk of extinction. This poses a great threat to the ecosystems on which people depend for their survival all over the world. Take major land habitations in the world. The first one, the savannas of Africa, and the second one, the rainforests of South America. The average richness of native plant and animal life has collapsed by more than one-fifth, that is 20%, over the past century. With the global human population passing 7 billion, activities like farming, logging, fishing, mining, poaching, expansion of roads, expansion of cities, and so on are altering the natural world at a rate never seen before in the history of mankind. At the same time, a new threat, namely the global warming, has become a major cause of wildlife decline. By changing the local climates that many birds, mammals, insects, and plants are used to. What is the global warming? We know high concentrations of carbon dioxide and other heat trapping gases in the atmosphere trap the heat coming from Earth and prevent it from going into the space. This creates a phenomenon called greenhouse effect, which leads to the global warming. Global warming, combined with the environmental damage caused by the people, are forcing close to elimination of a large number of species. For example, the Bengal tiger. And the biodiversity loss is projected to speed up in the next 30 years by mid of this century, particularly in the tropical regions, that is nearer to the equator. Vanishing of 40% of amphibian species, one-third of marine mammals, and one-third of corals that form reefs from the natural habitats that are left on the planet. More than 5 lakhs of land species do not have enough natural habitat available to guarantee their long-term survival. For example, in Indonesia, the destruction of rainforests for raising the palm oil plantations has reduced the habitat for the rare orangutans and Sumatran tigers, which are already on way to decline. As all told, 3/4 of the world's land, that means 75% of the world's land area, has been significantly altered by people in the last 2 to 3 centuries. Scientific studies show planting of trees is one way to stop the loss of biodiversity. How? The trees help to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis and return oxygen back into the atmosphere. The result is the quality of air is improved. Nearly half of the greenhouse effect is caused by carbon dioxide. Therefore, trees act as carbon sinks, lessening the greenhouse effect. On average, 1 acre of new forest can remove about 2.5 tons of carbon per year. Young trees absorb carbon dioxide at a rate of 13 pounds per tree per year. But if the trees reach their productive stage for carbon storage, say about 10 years or more, at which point they are estimated to absorb nearly 4 times, about 48 pounds of carbon per year per tree. So at that rate, each tree releases enough oxygen back into the atmosphere, sufficient to support 2 human beings. Planting 100 million trees could reduce an estimated 18 million tons of carbon per year. So the least expensive and perhaps the easiest way for individuals to help offset the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is to plant a tree, any tree, as long as it is appropriate for the given region and the climate existing. Also, trees offer many benefits. Particularly, trees create an ecosystem to provide the shelter as well as food for a large number of birds and other animals. Hence, extinctions to that extent can be slowed down. Trees offer another wonderful benefit, namely the water availability in the longer term, which is much more significant compared to the carbon removal from the atmosphere. What type of trees? A tree must live at least 10 to 20 years to build up enough foliage so that it can remove a lot of carbon. The selected tree must survive in the climate with the minimum amount of maintenance. Fast growing trees are generally discouraged because their lifespan are short. Our forest department and related departments, the University of Agricultural Sciences, can identify the right type of trees for the right place and the climate. How much space is available for the growth of plants around the world? It is debated that planting of trees may reduce the land available for the food production. It is not correct. The Swiss scientist group estimated that nearly 9 million square meters of space, 9 million square kilometers of space is available to plant about 1 trillion number of trees, or even 1.5 trillion trees. This is in addition to the 3 trillion trees already existing on the surface of the earth. The role of elephants in maintaining and strengthening the ecosystems is interesting. Research shows that trees in forests where elephants live had denser wood than those in forests without elephants. African forest elephants moving through the rainforests of Africa, existing in West Africa and the Congo Basin, they eat up to 450 kgs of vegetation per day as food. They consume trees and plants with stems but smaller than about 30 centimeters in diameter, that is slightly less than 1/3 of a meter. And often they damage those plants and trees and even kill them. Scientists used a model to predict how a forest might look like after years of these elephants eating down these smaller plants and trees. And what they found is a surprising result. Slow growing, shade tolerant trees grow well with less competition for water and sunlight. Slow growing and shade tolerant trees. And the resulting forest, therefore, will have smaller number of trees but taller ones with denser wood, and hence the total mass of vegetation on the ground is higher. That means more carbon can be stored. Just one elephant per square kilometer could increase the amount of plant mass in the forest by up to 60 tons per hectare. At that rate, the total Africa forest, which is 2.2 million square kilometers, can suck up more than 10 billion tons of carbon dioxide. Elephants' effects on forest ecosystems may also explain why the forests, especially the rainforests, look different from continent to continent. Take the Peruvian Amazon, that is Amazon forest existing in the country Peru. Now, interestingly, there are no elephants in this forest. Take the Republic Congo, we have just seen the forest roam about. Therefore, the elephant-free Peruvian Amazon appear differently if somebody walks through it compared to Congo. Because in Congo, there are smaller, more tightly packed trees, despite similar conditions between the two regions. The researchers guess that elephants help drive these ecosystems changes over hundreds of years. It is very tragic such useful wildlife like elephants that support these ecosystems and also help to combat climate change are disappearing at an alarming rate all over the world. The recent gruesome killing of an elephant in Kerala is a stark example of the man's greed. It calls for very serious action, and our laws must be rigid to deal with such heinous environmental crimes.